All right. Good morning, good day. We're going to go over the homework that I assigned because we ran out of time in a couple of the periods. So we're going to graph some slope-intercept equations. First thing that I always want to do is I always want to have the formula. So the formula is y equals mx plus b. And the m is our slope. And the b is my y-intercept. So let's make sure we're moving ahead. And I'm going to do the first one, the fourth one, and the last one. So let's get going. I'm going to look at my equation. It says y equals 1/2 x minus 3. And the first step that we wrote down was to identify your m and your b. So my m is 1/2. My b, I'm going to write it as a set of coordinates. It's this number right there. So 0, -3. That's always the first step. The second step, it says to plot my b on the y-axis. So 0, -3 is right there. And then the third step is to follow the slope 1/2 to my next sets of coordinates. So I'm going to do this in a different color, and I'm going to go rise over run. So rise 1, run 2, up 1, right 2, up 1, right 2. And I'm going to continue up 1, right 2 until I get as many coordinates or points, solutions on the graph. Instead of going up 1, right 2, I can also go down 1, left 2, down 1, left 2, and down 1, left 2, which gives me a bunch of solutions that I've graphed. We also, as we are graphing our line, we want to make sure we have a nice straight edge. I'm going to use this pen case because that'll provide me with a nice straight edge. You can use a ruler or an ID card. ID cards are the best. Boom and boom. And there's the answer to the first one. For the second one, my B is 0,6. My m is a -2/3. And then I'm going to allow you to graph that one and then do number 3 all by itself. I'm going to move on to the fourth example or problem. And it says y equals 3/5 x minus 5. My m is 3/5. My b is coordinates. It's always my x value of 0, -5, because it's the y-intercept. Step 2 says plot my b on the y-axis because it's the y-intercept. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, go down to a -5. And then the third step is follow my slope to my next set of solutions. So up 3, 1, 2, 3. Actually, I'm going to do it in a different color. 1, 2, 3, and then 5 to the right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I could only fit one extra solution on this graph, and that's what my line is going to become. You always need to have at least 2 points. I want you to have as many as you can, but you have at least 2 points. There's my line again. For number 5, my m is going to be a -5/1 because you have to turn it into a rise over run. And my b is going to be 0,6. And then I'm going to go down to the last example. Last example has a little bit more space. But what I'm noticing is that my slope-intercept formula is y equals mx plus b. And I notice that this is not in that order. I notice that my 5x is on the left side of the equal sign instead of the right. So that's out of order. I notice my y is on the left side of the equal sign, so that's fine. And my b, which is 1, is on the right side of the equal sign, so that's fine. So what I'm going to have to do is I have to convert this equation so that it looks like y equals mx plus b. And the way I'm going to do that is I'm going to subtract 5x. And I'm going to subtract 5x over on the other side. My 5x's cancel out, and I'm left with y equals, and then since it's y equals mx, I'm going to put negative 5x first, and then plus b would be my 1 is positive, so plus 1. And when I do that, I can now identify my m as a negative 5 over 1, and my b as 0, 1. So when I go to graph it, I identified my m and my b. That was step 1 in your notes. The second thing I'm going to do is I'm going to plot my y-intercept right there at 0, 1. The third thing I'm going to do is I'm going to follow my slope, negative 5 over 1, which means down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to the right 1. And then I'm going to do it in the opposite direction as well. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to the left 1. And again, I'm going to take my straight edge and I'm going to draw a nice straight line. And that is the graphed line of this equation. Okay, I'm going to have you're going to have to convert this equation as well as the last equation into slope-intercept form and go from there. If there are any questions, bring them in tomorrow, or better yet, check desmos.com, and I'll write it down here for you. Desmos.com, and then click on the Start Graphing tab. Start Graphing tab. It's a big red button. And then you can put the equations in and see what you're getting compared to what the computer gets. Okay? If that still doesn't help, come in tomorrow and we will go over the answers. Have a great day.